Oh, oh. Welcome to Meaningful Moments. Please listen carefully as I share a transformative quote. Great minds talk about ideas. Average minds talk about events. Small minds talk about people. The great talk about ideas. The average talk about events. The small talk about people. The past days, I was in Cleveland for very intense meetings and plans, all relating to ideas on how to serve society better. After I completed my time in Cleveland, I slowly shifted my way back to Niagara. And there was such a change in talking about ideas to events to people. And I felt in myself such a drain on empathy, enthusiasm, energy. And I shared this with all of us because we also have that sensitivity of talking about that which causes empathy, talking about that which causes exhaustion. In Meaningful Mornings, we don't talk about people, how they look, what their vices are, how come they're like this. We don't even talk about events. The events come in when I start to make announcements at the end. In Meaningful Mornings, we talk about ideas. Ideas about presence, purpose. And so, really, what I'm sharing, this is a free energy drink. Red Bull's expensive, Monster's expensive. This is a free and independent, it comes from you, energy drink. The greatest number of people I've spoken to in a single setting has probably been more than 1,000. When I was offering a valedictorian speech in high school or at a Masamadi camp. However, this June, I am fortunate to be able to speak at a DEI conference for a large medical system where they're expecting 3,000 to 5,000 people to join. I had a briefing with the organizers, and they had asked if I know what I'm going to speak on, and I said I have no idea. I'll figure it out in June. But they don't know me, I don't know them, so I didn't want them to feel scared that I'm just going to break down in nervousness. So I started to share what I think I'll speak about. And essentially, what I did share was the subject is putting mindfulness to work, coming down to an emphasis on incremental change in work with the mind, and then making this even more tactile, that I'll focus on habit stacking. Start with a habit, then stack another habit on that and another habit on that, and watch how the mind is much more engaged in work. I'm sharing this with everyone here because Sri Krishna is doing the same through the systems that are being shared in the summary chapter. in the summary message, as we get into the details of these summaries, this is not another chapter like 14, which is on the gunas. This is very much an application chapter. Some of us would feel guilty. Some of us would feel hurt by what Sri Krishna is sharing. That am I really tamasic? Am I really aggressive? But please, know that Sri Krishna is sharing with us what we need to hear. We need these words to grow up. He has no ulterior motive. His only intention is to call you back to him. So if you feel guilt or hurt, use that to grow up to your purpose, presence. Our systems are systematic in the sense of a system on renunciation. It is to renounce separation. Another pairing is our system on vision is to evolve to mission. And now the system we're in, our intuition is to flow through to determination. We are in the 6th of the habit stacks in this chapter. In verse 33, Sri Krishna is describing those who have a quiet determination. If you reflect on your equipment, they are designed to flow to matter. My eyes want to see articles. My mouth wants to taste articles. So it's almost like my equipments are designed to flow down. And that's why an ideal is needed to pull those equipments back, to lift our equipments up. Yes, everyone. An ideal changes one's life. In verse 34, which we just completed, Sri Krishna is sharing, those who are filled with aggressiveness, they may seem like they're doing a lot. They're sweating, they're working hard, but really, they're following the path of least resistance. They're living for pleasure. They don't need any materials for pleasure. They live for possession. Some materials are needed. They live for position. More materials are needed. But it's all easy. Comparatively, my own reflection is, living for pleasure, possession, position is hard, not easy, because this changes. I can't keep up. But if I live for peace, that is simple. And so it's easy. That doesn't change. One more reflection on verse 34, and we'll move on to ending this system on determination. Pujaswami Tejomayananda had given us a practical insight about how a stereotypical, this is a generalization, a stereotypical politician is one who is attached to their own ideas or name. And because of that, they're able to endure so much criticism. Have you seen that? I'm shocked by how much stereotypical politicians can endure in terms of negativity. Now, leverage that same attachment, but not to their idea or to your name, but rather to the higher. I'd earlier shared, an ideal makes one immune to people's words, to people's lack of loyalty, etc. We continue. Verse 35. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedaha diti sa partha tamasi. Joy. Shri Krishna is so specific in this verse about what lazy determination looks like. It's hard to even associate those words. I'm so determined to sleep in. Nobody's more determined than me. I am reading the translation, then I'll share some reflections. Yaya, by which lazy determination makes one the constancy because of which a stupid human does not abandon sleep, fear, grief, depression, and also arrogance. O Partha is tamasic or lazy fortitude. Defining these words, swapna means sleepiness. Bhaya means fear. Shoka, sorrow. Vishada, dejection. Mada, arrogance. Durmedaha, that is a strong word. One who is stupid. See, this is not an emotional stupid. You're stupid. You're stupider. You're the stupidest. This is a stupidity that is needed to be heard that if I'm living like this, I am wasting this opportunity. Zooming in, if you just take the first three words that are describing laziness, swapna, that is sleepiness, can be equated to moha, being confused. This morning, Vyasa got up at 3:30 and he had shared he had a bad dream and he wanted me to sleep with him. So when I woke up, I couldn't remember where I kept my glasses. So I was kind of wandering around trying to find my glasses because I was sleepy, obviously. Then, bhaya and shoka. What does moha or confusion cause? Bhaya or fear. What does that cause? Shoka or sorrow. Shri Krishna taught all of this in chapter 1 and the beginning of chapter 2. He's re-emphasizing to Prince Arjuna, what you were experiencing was tama. Not rightness, but wrong thinking. Yesterday, as I was exercising and watching Cobra Kai, in the Cobra Kai dojo, their slogan is, fear does not exist in this dojo. And Cobra Kai is a very aggressive training center. See, their idea of fear is exclusivity. If someone threatens me, I'm going to threaten them back. But the fear that Sri Krishna is talking about is not a physical threat. It relates to dvaita. It relates to separation. When one starts to feel advaita or oneness, that is where fear does not exist. Fearlessness doesn't happen through exclusivity, but rather inclusivity. One more reflection. How many of you read the How We Practice slides that are posted on Facebook? Every day after I teach, we actually have a team of thinkers and writers. I think there may be 30 of you. And so you summarize what is shared and you put it into a slide, and that becomes a visual summary for those who want this. I don't write these summaries. I do read them. For verse 33, I was very appreciative of whoever wrote that slide, that they used the word integrity. One who's filled with quietness, they think. That is the buddhi part. And then they speak and or act. That's the dhriti part. Here Sri Krishna is sharing the one who's lazy with determination. They think one thing, they speak another thing, they act in another way. No integrity. So challenge yourself. Do you think before you speak and act? When you have thought, do you follow through your words and actions? From inspiration to application, your application was to support our social media, subscribing to YouTube, liking or following Loving Earth on Instagram. Now I'm going to tell you why. Please understand the dynamics of working with such a community. Recently, our team told me that around 3,000 seekers touch our community in an active way, in a passive way. How do you work with 3,000 people? Our social media is a method to help searchers find a grip for them to become seekers. And proof of this, we have a team that is revamping our LinkedIn profile. And just through their small amount of efforts, it's not a small amount, but in a short period of time, because of them, I'm now getting to speak in a DI conference for Chicagoland in May. I'm getting to speak to Meta, based in Seattle, I think, in August. You see how more opportunities are created if you support our social media. How many of you are clear about what I'm trying to communicate? It's not about me or you, it's about helping others. Your application for this morning is to register for our Running from the Mind community. It's called running, but really the idea is to train the mind to be quieter. Train it through moving the body. You can walk, you can jog, you can run. And what's lovely about this year is it's based on miles, mantras, and means. Track your miles. Mantra, in our community, we don't listen to anything. This year, we're just going to mentally chant Gayatri Mantra. And what I'm most excited about is means. As you train, every time you complete a full marathon, that's 42 kilometers, for you to share a pair of shoes with the needy. I'm positive you don't even have to go buy them. Just go into your closet, get that pair of shoes and share it with someone who doesn't have shoes or needs them. See how we're the beneficiaries, we become healthy, but so many others are too. Shanti, 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 Be joy.